It's Thursday and I'm in the Digibug. Live right now, not live for you. Just thinking about Theta. Man, Theta Fuel. What a run that stuff's been on. Holy cow, I can't even... But that's crypto. And right now, I guess what I want to point out is not to get you to Fomo into it. That's the last thing I want you to do. When something goes up 10 times in, a few weeks, it gets me nervous. It makes me think, oh boy. If I'm holding it, I'm like, I probably want to get rid of it. You get that inkling. Me, anyway. That's how I feel about it. But, I get it. If they do what they're supposed to do, it could be a very amazing platform. And a lot of psychics, woo-woo, have definitely seen big things for it. But, what if it retraces from $6, $7 back to $3? Are you going to feel bad being into it? So that's why it's important to be into projects that you've researched, that you feel good about, that you don't. And of course, I'm talking about crypto here. In case anybody's watching this thinking, what the heck's this guy talking about? Theta's a cryptocurrency. But if you're into these things, don't FOMO, fear of missing out, into it. Wait for a little pullback and get into it. And that's, but again, what if it goes up more? That's what you're thinking. So the bottom line is you need to look at those cryptos that you resonate with, that you feel good about, that you like what they're doing, you like the people involved, and you wouldn't feel bad if you got stuck holding it. If it drops 50% or it drops 90%, try going through the last 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years in cryptocurrency, where projects drop 90+% and you still hold them. I've been there. So you better believe in that project and really have faith that it's going to do something that's important, and so that's my advice. I'm just rambling a little bit, but that's my thoughts in the crypto space, is that don't go chasing things that just to chase it because you don't have any. If you're gonna buy it, buy a little bit and then you'll feel better. It's like, okay, I got a little bit of it. And if it goes down, buy more. If it goes up, buy a little bit more. It doesn't matter. Cost your average in. And if you spread it out over a few week period, like every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whenever you've got the money and you just accumulate and accumulate, you'll be fine. It all averages out in the end, the longer you do it. So don't say, I got to get this coin, it's going up, it's going to be the game changer, I've got to get it, and then you sell a bunch of stuff that you've been holding and get into it, and next thing you know, that thing goes down. And, so just feel good about the project you're getting into. Litecoin, I have no problem holding it. Litecoin went to $420 on Coinbase at the end of 2017. Now, if you'd bought it then, or if you were holding it then like I was and didn't sell it, because you know what it's capable of, and you hold on to it for 3+ years, 3.5 years, and it goes all the way down to like $22, like $24 might have been the low. That's painful. $420 down to, let's say, $25. Man, but if you believe in it, you accumulate more. So when it's at $25, you try and find every freaking quarter you can find and scrape it together and buy more. That's what you do when you really believe in something, when you know that it's a game changer. So, just some thoughts. I hate for anybody to get into something, and just like panic mode go into it. It's better off just kind of easing into it. It's like a pool, you don't know how deep it is. Are you going to jump in? Some people do. That's how they roll. But you better be confident in your abilities to come out of it. You better have nerves of steel to, watch that thing dump if it does. Not that it will, but if it does, be prepared. So I just want to shout that out, just let people know, just relax, find a good coin and start getting into it. We're so early to the crypto space in comparison to the rest of the country. If you look around, in the world for that matter, but if you look around, how many people do you know that are in crypto? You might mention Bitcoin and they'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. Do you have any? Well, no. Do you know how to get it? No. So it's important to understand how early to the game you are. We're talking, you know, Steve Jobs and Apple building computers in the garage still, and maybe just now starting to sell a few of them. I mean, that's kind of where you're at. This thing's going to get so big because of so much more money that comes into it. You see it every day with the big players that are coming into it. Grayscale, for instance, they hold a Litecoin trust. They've got like 1.45 million Litecoin locked up. Just that one fund. That's a big deal. You've got a lot of other entities, you know, locking up Bitcoin and just holding it on their balance sheets as a hedge against the dollar, which is imploding. And why is it imploding? Because we've got a stimulus or rescue package, whatever you want to call it. It's $1.9 trillion. That's a lot of money. I remember back in 2008 when we had the big collapse, you know, the banking system, the housing market, you know, everything was going to crap. You had, you know, liquidity issues, money freezing up, banks not trusting each other. I mean, it was bad. The economic system pretty much died, and they brought it back, you know, with a bunch of, you know, life support, and that just means they print money. And so I think it was like $768 billion they had to print, and that was going to fix it. And the first time it didn't pass, and then, you know, Hank Paulson from the Treasury Secretary started threatening Congress. Oh, we're going to have troops and military on the streets, you know, everything's falling apart. And so Congress passed it, and at the time that was 800 billion. That's a lot of money. But we just passed 900 billion created last December. We're going to 1.9 trillion more, and that's what we see. The banking system behind the scenes, the Fed, they've been caught printing over $20 trillion and loaning it out, giving it out, whatever they do with it, you know, unaccountable. So that's just what we're seeing, and that's what causes inflation. In other words, the cost of goods to rise up in price, because that's price inflation. But you've got monetary inflation because you're just creating $1.9 trillion and throwing it into the market. I mean, that's a big deal. Well, that money will go somewhere. And yeah, some of it's going to go to stimulus checks, you know, so we're going to get, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know what it is, $1,400, you know, each. But, I mean, the cost of everything else is going to offset that. You look at the price of gas right now, and it's about $3 a gallon here in Illinois for the lowest grade. And if you want premium, it's like $3.50. Diesel's now $3 a gallon. And so think of what's going on right now. We have farmers just now starting to get ready for plant the spring crop, you know, all the food supply, you know, beans and corn, and they use diesel, and they use a lot of it. And so the cost of that goes up. So your input cost goes up. So everything else throughout the whole entire supply chain is going to go up in price. And so the cost of everything is going to go up. So this is almost a preemptive move to an extent that'll help cover the rise in those costs that are coming. They're going to have to do it again in, I don't know how long, 6 months, and it'll be more money. Because there's just no way out of the system when it's debt-based, because everything's based on debt, creation of debt to fund the existing debt. And there's no way out of it, and we're at the end game. Like I said, it died in 2008, and rightfully it should have. We should have reset things and started over, but we didn't, and we papered it over and made it much, much, much worse. And so now you're on a track to possibly just print to infinity. And what does that mean, print to infinity? I mean, where does that money go? I mean, what happens to it? I mean, hey, give me $100,000 check. Everybody gets $100,000. You know, I mean, they could do that, do it very easily. They could say no income tax. You know, if you're working, you know, you shouldn't pay income tax, you know, because we could just print the money. We'll just create the money. But the downside of that is that the cost of everything will go up because there are more dollars to go into different items. If there were fewer dollars, the prices would go down if they didn't print as much, you know, and you'd have bankruptcies and the system would start fixing itself, you know, it would correct. But we've got an engineered system where the free market is not allowed to occur, you know, and so we pick winners and losers, I should say. Our government does, and the banking system does. They pick winners and losers because they've got the money, they've got the fuel, they've got the tools to run the economy. into the ground in this case. So the point of all this is that cryptocurrency is one way to get out. It's one way to lock up your funds in a different system, and it's in a system you can control. When you own cryptocurrency, you hold it in your own wallet. You are the bank. You're the new banking system. You take it with you wherever you go. You can leave the country and you have it. There's no stopping that. So just look at the money that's being created and find good projects, good cryptos, silver. I mean, put your money, put your dollars into something that you have faith in, that you want to hold, and do your research on it and feel good about it, because you want to be able to sleep at night and say, you know what, I'm glad I have that. Because if you go to sleep and you say to yourself, man, I wish I had some of that, I really need some of that, I don't feel good not having it, then you should probably get some. You know, it's just that simple. And you don't have to, I need to get 1,000 of this coin. No. I need to get 1 Bitcoin. No. You can get whatever amount, because that small amount of whatever you get is more than 90% of the population, 95% of the population has. You're way ahead of the game because you're awake, because you're thinking of these things and it's keeping you up at night. So follow your instincts, follow your gut, you know, feel good about what you're doing. It's your money, it's your energy, it's your labor. Don't leave it in something that's devalued, that they're basically stealing from you. Put it in something that's going to preserve that energy that you put into this world, and determine what that is. For me, it's something like silver. It's Litecoin. It's, you know, good Digibyte. I mean, it's good cryptocurrencies that I can use. I can buy things with Litecoin if I want to. So it's just, you know, find those things that resonate with you, and you're not going to catch every rocket. You know, maybe you didn't catch the Theta train, you know, maybe you didn't catch, you know, I don't know, you know, pick one, Bitcoin. You weren't on Bitcoin, you know, oh, I could have bought it for $3,000 back last March and now it's 50 plus. You're not going to catch all these because you don't have the resources to do it. So you just have to find she's ready, but you just have to find what resonates with you and make that your escape pod, you know, out of this broken, dying system that is mismanaged, that it's not working, and we see it falling apart in so many different ways. So get out of that, take that foot out of that swamp, and, you know, get on some solid ground. And that's up to you to decide. And just feel good with it, though. You know, feel good with those decisions. You know, you'll know what resonates with you and what feels right, and just do it one step at a time. That's all it takes. So I hope you have a good day. I've rambled enough. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and the dog's got to go. So have a great day.